It's safe to say that the 2020s has been a renaissance for Sonic the Hedgehog. From 2 feature films to new games like Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Superstars, the Blue Blur has been riding a wave of momentum. In 2024, Sega declared the year as Fearless, a campaign dedicated to Shadow the Hedgehog. And with the release of the upcoming 3rd Sonic the Hedgehog film featuring the Ultimate Lifeform, Sega announced a remaster of Sonic Generations, originally released for Sonic's 20th anniversary back in 2011. The remaster includes a new story starring Shadow that takes place during the main game. This approach recalls Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, where Bowser's storyline gained more momentum than the enhanced port itself. Will Shadow's edition have a similar impact, or does Sonic Generations hold its own? In this video, I break down the good, the bad, and the in-between of both Sonic and Shadow's journeys through time in Sonic X Shadow Generations. So both stories share a similar plot, but with dual perspectives. Sonic finds himself revisiting iconic stages from his past alongside a younger version of himself, while Shadow relives key moments where he confronts a revived Black Doom, the villain from Shadow the Hedgehog. Imagine The Lion King 1.5, but with Sonic. That's the best way I could describe it. Shadow's campaign plays similarly to Sonic Generations, with some notable differences. It features new stages from games like Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic 06, and Sonic Frontiers. Each of them have 2 acts. Act 1 uses Shadow's modern gameplay style, while Act 2 focuses on side-scrolling. Both of these acts make use of Shadow's abilities like the boost, the stomp, and the slide, along with Chaos Control, which lets him stop time briefly. This ability affects hazards, enemies, and even time itself. Each act contains 3 collectible keys that open treasure chests in the hub world. The hub world starts off plain and white, but as you collect items and progress, it starts to come alive. Within this open space, Shadow can find collectibles, artwork, and music in gameplay similar to Sonic Frontiers. Completing stages unlocks challenges, like defeating a certain number of enemies or finishing a level without dying. As Shadow progresses, he unlocks new abilities like shooting projectiles and gliding, which can make the difference between an S rank and an A rank. The 3D hub world is a great opportunity to master these abilities. Especially in the boss battles such as the Bio Lizard and the Metal Sonic, it actually requires careful timing, so making it a more interesting test of skill. Now, for Sonic's story, it's similar to his original 2011 adventure, with some tweaks that can range from minor to significant. Both young and older Sonic now have the drop dash ability that was first introduced in Sonic Mania. This move is useful for finding shortcuts and racing the clock. As you explore each level, you can find red rings just like in the original, and new hidden chows scattered throughout. Some are easy to spot while others are in trickier places, requiring multiple playthroughs. Luckily, the remaster tracks collectibles so you won't have to worry about missing any. Both Sonics could also equip skills and abilities from the skill shop, such as extended boost or shields from Sonic 3. These can be saved and customized to suit different play styles. One of the biggest changes is the presentation. Some cutscenes now feature new writing, animation, and character model tweaks. For example, modern Sonic now interacts with characters he rescues instead of just remaining silent, and new dialogue adds references to previously unmentioned games like Sonic CD. Both Sonic and Shadow's campaign offer customization options. For players who prefer the control scheme from Sonic Frontiers, that setup is available, but you can also switch to legacy controls for a more classic feel. Shadow's campaign includes graphics and performance modes, letting you choose between enhanced visuals or higher frame rates. Since Sonic's story maintains a steady 60 FPS on the PS5, I would definitely recommend performance mode, but that's just my preference. Unfortunately, some of the original game's issues are still present in this remaster. While gameplay feels updated, a few cutscenes look a bit rough around the edges. Some gameplay quirks from the original remain, such as when modern Sonic occasionally loses control after a homing attack or boost, which can lead to some missed targets or falling off platforms. I also encountered a few new bugs, like occasional stage clipping that weren't in the original. When deciding which campaign to play first, I'd recommend completing one entirely before switching, as Sonic and Shadow control differently. I personally think Shadow's controls are smoother, which made me wish both characters had equally refined mechanics. Additionally, I was disappointed by the short length of Shadow's campaign. It would have been great to see levels from other games featuring Shadow, like Shadow the Hedgehog, or even the storybook series like Sonic and the Secret Rings, for example. In the end, Sonic X Shadow Generations elevates the original Sonic Generations to a new level. For many, the original wasn't just a game, it was a celebration of Sonic's legacy. This enhanced remaster introduces that legacy to a modern audience, with improvements in presentation, charm, and gameplay that keep it relevant. Sega should use this as a blueprint for future remasters. This format could allow for adventures with other characters, not just Shadow. For now, Sonic X Shadow Generations offers fans a nostalgic journey that, while not perfect, is a thrilling 2-in-1 experience that celebrates both Sonic and Shadow in a fearless new way. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications.